Alright, and before we start, I'd like to make this an intro. So,
Oh, the mighty Karl, I summon you from the depths of my fetid toilet. Please rise, rise and bless this ravaged brother.
good. Right. Hello, everyone. Afreemanornot here, and welcome to another fucking video where I talk to people. And today I stumbled upon a magical man, or actually I did it earlier this week. The magical madman that is Karl the Deranged.
Hello, my name is the real Karl the Deranged. I am not a copy. I am the true thing, and here we have a free man or not.
My name is Karl the Debil.
Well,
you can
hello.
clearly... Yeah. So, there you go, guys. Full authentication. The spastic sounds that no living man can make, but that's why I brought Karl, because he's
The spastic vomiting of a humongous homunculi.
Yes. Oh god. Imagine that. Making a homunculi that,
Have you ever seen that fucking stupid YouTube video of this like weird Russian stalker man who comes in an egg and he creates like he says, I made a homunculi, and then it sprays fucking acid on him and then beats it to death with a Bible?
No?
Okay, it's a good one.
But I want to.
Don't worry about it.
Good. Alright. Alright, amazeballs. Literally 2 seconds before we started this recording, we had two topics, which was YouTube and creepypasta.
No, I mean, I just mentioned it.
I know,
I'm not saying that I have fucking stuff to talk about. Well, I probably do, saying that I'm a fucking humongous retard, but yeah, just go ahead. Shit into my open mouth, vomit into my gaping asshole.
Gladly. Right, well, I don't know, that was the only thing that kind of, like, fell onto mind, because, oh, but, fuck, I dropped my buttons. At least it wasn't a knife. No, I don't know, I just asked you because I was, like, a little bit curious, because I have some questions.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to hear your answer to, but I also wanted to see if there was something else that you also had in mind.
No, not really. I mean, no, not really.
Fair enough.
I mean, I can talk.
But
I can't say if any of my subscribers, my beautiful little boys, are listening to this. I can tell you that fucking the animation and YouTube stuff, it's still going on. Don't worry. I've just been very fucking busy with real life. It's been eating up my time like a motherfucker. So don't think that I've forgotten about you.
yeah, no, Karl doesn't typically forget. It's just that, you know, life is life, and it fucking sucks, and it just deep throats you forcefully.
I mean, that would be nice. That'd be nice.
That would be an upgrade.
Yeah, because then at least you would have sex. It would be.
I mean,
it would be like.
The alleyway snuggle struggle.
No, it more be like you meet up with a guy and like, oh, alright, we're gonna do it, and he goes like, yeah, let's do it, and then you go into his room, and then he walks out the door and locks you in, and it's like, oh, okay. He just leaves you there.
Hello,
like,
Karl.
oh shit.
I wanna play a game.
Yeah, and then he comes out with fucking Monopoly. A fucking shot Monopoly. He comes out with Monopoly and a fucking shot of Tabasco sauce. He's like, go ahead.
It's gonna be amazeballs.
That's what life is. It's Monopoly and Tabasco sauce.
It's Monopoly and Tabasco sauce. Well, it's
Have you ever jerked off before, like, after peeling a bunch of chilies?
No.
Me neither. You just need to get that out of the way. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. That's good. Right. That's amazeballs. But yeah, so a question that I had in regards to you and your wonderful shenanigans was have you guys actually had fan fictions? I guess that's implied when you ask fan fictions. Have you guys ever had fan fictions sent to you that specifically involve you and the rest of the Alpha Legion?
Well, there was one time, but that was I specifically requested that somebody did it to me.
You explicitly wanted it, and you wanted to be as bad as possible.
Yeah, and it was between me and a voice actor named Monkey, I believe. And it was interesting. I think it involved us being lubed up in a bunch of bad dragon dildos. And I also think that I shit myself on several occasions. It was it was pretty funny.
Sounds like sounds like a good time. So sounds like Japanese wrestling with
sounds like fucking Japanese deathmatch wrestling with fucking pine needles and.
Oh, God.
Have you ever seen those fucking things? It's disgusting.
It really is.
It's disturbing. They just beat the shit out of each other. There's just blood everywhere, and they fucking fall down face first with thumbtacks.
Yeah, I guess they took fucking Jigsaw seriously over there.
Jigsaw would be fucking. Can you imagine? I want to play a game, and they're going, "What?" And they fucking just start fucking beating the shit out of each other.
They just ruined the game by killing each other. It's like, this is not what I wanted.
I need you to put your hand in this big basket of needles. Yeah! They just punch the needles so they get stuck in their hand, and then punch their opponent while the needles are stuck to their hand.
Oh God!
They don't give a shit about the key.
No, they just want to die honorably.
I'm sure they've gotten their legs chained to a radiator, and they just bite their fucking legs off. Fucking use it as a boomerang.
Oh, that would be pretty amazing. All right, well, by the way, I've watched every single one of your fucking Karl cast videos, and
all 4 of them.
No, all 6 of them.
Oh yeah, there's.
Congratulations, Karl. You played yourself. Well, and it was a thing actually that I thought was funny. Yeah, you said in one of the videos in regards to Slender Man used to be good. Do you actually know how it started? How Slender Man was a thing?
Yeah, it started out I think it was a creepy thing on somethingawful.com, right? I believe.
Okay.
That's what I believe. It started out on somethingawful.com where people would just manipulate images to make them look creepy, and then somebody made 2 of the first Slender Man quote-unquote true photos. And they actually looked fucking scary because, it's something that looks fucking spooky, and you don't know much about it.
Yeah.
That's, it intrigues you, what the fuck is this? But
yeah, because...
But then, fuck's sake, Slender Man... Oh, God. Once you start getting into the fucking Tumblr shit, it was it's not scary anymore,
Tumblr ruins anything that ever was fun. But then again, they make their own fun by becoming the new fun to make fun of.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a trade-off.
And one thing that pisses me the fuck off, because alright, the whole point about Slender Man, right, is that he's not supposed to have any facial features. That's one of the things. He has no facial features. You can't see the outline of a nose and blah blah blah. He has no portrait shot. It's just blank, which pisses me off when people oh, I'm going to make Slender Man and I'm going to make him scary, but I kind of want him to look human. And then they fucking make he has a face. Then you're making Slender Man with a face. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it's you guys are fucking ruining the character because it's no longer Slender Man.
You might as well make a fucking Ken doll with a humongous throbbing cock then.
Yeah. it's not even fucking worthwhile at that point.
Like, the frightening part about him is that he's supposed to be mysterious and not human, but you're making him look like a fucking dude with a mask.
Yeah, it's
like, oh no, shit, look, it's Ghostface. He's going to stab me.
No, don't touch me with those tentacles. Oh, you can go there, alright.
In my opinion, I've never found, like, if you're writing a creepy story and it just ends with death, I don't think it's really scary, because then it's like, oh, then you die, and then, well, you're free now because you're dead, I guess. You know what I mean?
I
mean, at least when you're going with supernatural shit, I find, like, fucking stories about, oh man, this, like, fucking weirdo psychopath, like this dude who wants to kill me. That's more scary than...
Yeah, builds a little bit more tension, the fact that they want to kill you rather than that they actually succeed in killing you. They can kill all the characters around you, but typically you are not the one that's supposed to die. Like, that works in movies, but not really as much in the script.
I mean, but that, I don't know, that's just my own opinion. Then again, I suffer from sleep paralysis regularly.
Did I just hear opinions? I don't agree with your opinion!
Well, tough shit, faggot.
Yeah, that's the internet.
Slurp on my humongous foreskin, my friend.
Oh no.
Have you ever seen images of those guys who are like this humongous pumped up foreskins? They're like, what the hell is this?
Volcano foreskin?
Yeah, volcano foreskins. They like spray out semen like a fucking,
It's like Spider-Man if he had Spider-Man's dick.
Yeah, it's what's that called again? Anatomically correct Spider-Man, so funny. ADHD fucking animations. Please make an animation of me taking a shit in my own mouth.
Yeah, cover
and I call
me
it
in vomit.
Scientifically accurate Karl the Deranged.
Pretty much. I don't know, I thought you were born from the devil's fetid shit.
No, I was born from the Big Bang.
Ah.
Yeah.
But wasn't that the Big Bang?
Big Bang is my father and the Void is my mother.
Oh boy. The Big Bang was...
I'm an ancient being, Freeman!
Oh no! The Cthulhu mythos were real!
Yes, I'm 80% rock.
You're not even like so you're not even like the king in Jello. You're like the king in cum or something.
No, I'm not even a king. I'm just a fucking sentient rock, you bastard.
Yeah, you're Karl.
Karl.
That's even scary.
Just because I'm old doesn't mean I'm strong.
That is true. Well, then again, we kind of denoted that from the good old tales of Crusader Kings.
Oh yeah, when we made fucking incest dwarfs.
Incest dwarves and Cthulhu mythos motherfuckers.
That was good.
Nice
I don't really
times
play
to be
games
alive.
anymore though. I mean, I sometimes play fucking Space Station 13. But usually, I don't know, I'm kind of this faggot who's like, oh, I need to pass the time or something, and I'll put on like some stupid fucking sandbox game. Because I don't know, whenever I'm at my computer, I really can't be like, no, now I'm going to play this game that actually takes effort and skill to get into, because then I'm spending more time on fucking learning a stupid fucking game than working!
Yeah, which is fair. I mean, that's entirely understandable. It's just how the fuck it's... I don't know. The fucking gaming in general has become a very interesting thing nowadays.
I don't know, I feel like it's become like this weird professional, like, competitive shit. Nobody's playing games just to have fun anymore, everybody's playing games to show off how cool and good they are.
Yeah,
which is, like, I don't know, for me, could be that I'm just a pussy or something, but, like, I don't know, I don't feel like playing, like, a lot of competitive games, because, I don't know, I just feel like the actual community would just be assholes.
Yeah, and then again, the fucking discussion of communities, communities, the whole idea of communities have become kind of like synonymous with cancer to me nowadays, so it's like, Like, that's a good question. Like, what internet communities have you fucking heard of that labels themselves as communities have not been fucking shit? What fandoms and communities?
God, that's like on the internet.
Yeah, on the internet. Because, like, think of it for a second. Like, what kind of communities exist nowadays? And
Fucking Dwarf Fortress.
Oh, Dwarf Fortress is autism made divine.
Yeah, but the people are nice at least. I think.
I guess. Well, I mean, they can be nice to you because they have a simulator to take out all their fucking anger on.
Yeah.
Just go against stunted manlets and ruining their lives.
Have I ever told you the story about when I created an adventure dude in Dwarf Fortress called George Washington?
No, please do tell.
Oh, I was playing Dwarf Fortress adventure mode because I'm fucking like whenever I play Fortress mode, I'm like, oh god, I don't know what I'm doing.
And so, it also takes forever, doesn't it?
Yeah, and also I don't know, I just feel adventure mode being more exciting because it just feels more personal. Because you're playing as a single guy who is, you. And I created a demigod who I spent all of his points into biting.
Okay.
So he was completely retarded in everything else except that he could bite fucking iron apart. And his name was George Washington because, the wooden teeth.
Oh god.
And I believe that he woke up in his cabin, and the first thing he did was bite his wife's head off, and then he ventured into the forest looking for adventure. He came across a pack of wolves, and instead of, fucking killing all the wolves, he bit off all the wolves' teeth, so that they could no longer bite him. So he was just followed by this pack of wolves gumming at him with like their weird baby mouths.
They're weird baby mouths, and then he just used them as like fucking living fleshlights.
Yeah, and then he traveled for like 3 days to get to an ancient dragon. He was like 1,000 meters away from the dragon. He had to cross a river. He falls into the river, drowns, and gets eaten by alligators. Because I didn't spend any points into swimming.
And it is said that on the gleaming bottom of that lake, you can see his teeth shine to the surface to this very day.
Yeah, his fucking brown, gnawing teeth.
Poisoning the lake forevermore.
Yeah, it's just drooling snuff. I don't know. Chewing tobacco.
Yeah. Amazing. I've
river, Typhoid Mary.
Oh god. I've always wanted to like get into things like Dwarf Fortress and Space Station 13, but I'm always recommended just fucking don't, because it seems like it's too much of a hassle.
You need to be a fucking autist.
Yeah, that's also a thing, which is like,
but it's fun though, because it's those games where you get such stupid stories from them, and it's fun.
Exactly.
I like how I'm drooling and like a fucking bad man.
It's like amazing because I get sometimes really funny stories out of fucking D&D. Like last time I played D&D was last weekend, where I got the opportunity to play a character that I created called Gammelman. And
Gammelman.
Yes, Gammelman. For those who doesn't know, it's
ancient man. No.
Old man. It literally means old man, pretty much, in Swedish.
He runs out and lays down in the sarcophagus to sleep for another eon.
Kind of. Well, he's an interesting fellow because, he started off he started off with not being permitted to go into the inn because he smelled of shit.
Okay.
So my character was like,
"But what are you talking about? I do not smell like shit. I'll have you know, I wiped last Thursday. I'm as clean as you'll get me."
It's good.
So
Do you remember the first character you ever created?
I do remember the first character I ever created. He was a magical fucking man. Essentially, he was... Imagine William Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean if he was rolled terribly. What happened? Because the first thing that happened was like, okay, so I don't know how D&D works. I kind of want to get into this stuff, but I don't know how it works. So we had 3 people with us. I think I was the only human. Then it was like a half ogre or half orc or full orc even. I don't know. He was a very interesting man. He had like stones and pebbles growing on his back and on his shoulders and on his skull to a degree. He was fucking insane.
Okay.
And then there was a dwarf, I think, but I don't remember entirely what he did. So the first thing... Oh yeah, then we also had a wizard, was played by my friend. We call him Skrillex. He played a 800-year-old magician. So what the first thing we did was that we were like in a caravan and just waiting to get our shit ready. The first thing the fucking... wizard does is like, I want to find out a little bit more about where we're going. And it's like, okay, so what do you want to do? I go out into the campus, see if I can find anyone to maybe talk to. And he doesn't find anyone to talk to because no one really knows where they're going. It's a very strange caravan ride, but he eventually finds like a boy. And he's like, and just out of nowhere, he just finds a boy by the stable. And he's like...
Quickly, can you make fucking voice act Kratos going boy?
Boy.
There you
go. So what happens is essentially that he asks the DM, can I mind control him? And he passes the mind controlling test, because apparently he had that fucking ability. And then he's like... so the boy is under my control. Yeah, he's under your practically full control. Okay. I want to make him tell me what he knows in regards of this trip, in regards of everything around this camp, if there's anything special or interesting around. The boy didn't know anything special.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, we're all just staring at him at this point in time, because we know he's a little bit of an insane motherfucker if he wants to be.
Yeah.
And that's when he looks at us, and that's when he asks, how good of a control do I have over this boy? And we all like, no, you fucking don't. No, you fucking don't. And the GM is like, yes, you can make him do things. Just don't.
Don't. Fucking don't.
And he was like, okay, I will not do anything. But I could have. I could know that I could have. And then we were like, what the fuck? And... The first fight we get into is... I'm never gonna forget it. Because my character was like... And this is why I'm saying that this is fucking... That Pirates of the Caribbean guy if he was rolled terribly. Because the first thing that happens is that I'm supposed to fight 2 guys. They roll for charge. The first one just charges. The other one, as he runs towards me... I think he fails to drag up his own sword. So he drags up his own sword and cuts his own arm and falls.
It's good.
And I just like, alright, good, I have an opportunity here. So I pull out my own fucking blade and start running towards them. I fall. The first step I take, I follow my fucking shoelaces and stab myself in the leg.
What do you...
And I scream out, hey, Victor! And when I scream, the other fucker... that was running towards me gets scared by that and falls over too. So all 3 of us have just like fallen over, taken damage. Like the first guy is bleeding out, the other guy is just like stumbling. I stab myself in the leg. It's like good first fight, and I'm already knocking myself out. I had really low hit points as well, so that took like half of my health.
Good. The first character that I created was a... It was a tiny man. It was a dude. It was a human, but it was really fucking short. But I rolled everything up, and he became. I made him into like a barbarian.
Okay.
We were playing Drakar och Demoner, if you know what that is.
Yeah, I've played that too, which is essentially Swedish D&D.
Yeah, Trudvang, and Yeah.
Okay.
And I created this guy who was he was strong as fuck, but the problem is that he was as tall as he was wide.
Oh, so he was literally a ball?
He was just a square walking around, and his name was Turgil Tungkniv. And he had, like, almost the lowest intelligence that you could roll up, and he was afraid of washing.
He was afraid of washing.
Yes, and
he's like one of those football players that never washes his socks because they think it'll get away bad luck.
yeah, and the reason is that his name was Tungkniv. In Swedish, that means heavy knife. Is because his main weapon was a giant knife, like it was basically a out of proportion massive knife that was smithed by dwarves. And his backstory is that he used to be a hunter, but it was too stupid to use the bow, so he would just throw this massive knife on deer and split them apart.
Jesus.
And I remember that the first... And, oh yeah, he was a mercenary with another barbarian who was like this 2-meter big, tall muscle fuck. And I remember one of the first things that happened is that we're walking on a wood, like a road to the, like some woods. Just, guarding this cart mission. And suddenly, like, this fucking... I can't remember, I think it was like a witch that showed up.
Okay.
This dirty old hag, and the first thing that Turgil does is seduce her and have sex with her. While the rest of the gang watches, and they're like, "This is fucking disgusting." And after that, they take Turgil and they throw him into a geyser in order to clean him.
Oh god, they like have a priest bless the geyser and like, throw him in there, come on, we gotta save him.
But then also some kind of wizard showed up and fucking teleported us to a magical cursed forest. Where we, Alright. The quest of that campaign is to get out of the forest. It took us, in real time, about half a year to get out of that fucking forest.
What the fuck?
Because we did everything wrong. And at the end of it, we were like... We had only gone up like 3 levels, and we were like about to retire our characters because they were so beaten. My dude had lost a fucking arm and it was infected with like salmonella. It was just...
Oh, I shouldn't have fisted the hag. So I fisted the hag in the asshole and she bit it off.
My favorite character was not from me, it was from my friend The Cheese, who created a bard named... Oh god, what was his name? It was... Tildur Tonfager. He looked pretty good, but the only thing that like was weird was that he had this big beer belly.
Okay.
So it was this, and he was also metrosexual.
What?
Yeah, so he was Tildur Tonfager, the metrosexual sexual bard.
Oh no!
And he opened
Drakar Demoners first gay bar.
Yeah, no, he would constantly brag about how pretty he was and all the fucking like weird adventures that he had been in at his bar that was owned by his mother.
Oh, he asked. Oh no.
So he'd be like, then one time this big 3-meter tall dude walked in. He was as big as 2 ice trolls, which is like 12 fucking meters.
Jesus Christ. Dude.
But I remember we were in this fucking magical forest and we were trying to dig a massive trap so that we could catch a boar. So it would be one of those holes with just sticks, pointed sticks. Yeah. And so we're digging and it's getting dark, and so my friend, because in this party where three of us are just this big muscle dudes. It's me, another barbarian, and a big fat fucking shaman. And so we're digging.
Fat shaman?
Yeah, a fat fucking constantly high shaman who wears a pink wolf pelt. Because
it's Ezgil Kovac.
No, he's wearing a pink wolf pelt because he got a wolf pelt and was like, I'm going to color it red to make it look more intimidating, but he didn't have enough dye, so it just became pink.
And now the bard is jealous of his fashion.
No, but we're trying to dig this fucking pit, and Tilda is just standing fucking looking on, and so one of the barbarians goes up to him and like, ugh, fucking work or I'll kill you. And he goes, nah, meaning no. And so the barbarian grabs him by the legs and fucking smacks him into a tree, killing him instantly. However, the only reason that he survives is because in DoD you have something called rauds, and what these does is you can use them to avoid death, and usually you start with like 2 or 3. Tilda has
like
16.
What the fuck? Are those like fate points?
It's kind of basically like, oh, this would kill you, but then you use it, and then you don't die.
Okay.
However, you get really bad luck.
Oh,
And the thing is, Tilda he was the fucking cause of all the bad luck, because he would die immediately, and he would raud, then like fucking hell would break loose. That would like kill him again, which would make his shit worse. But yeah, so he got smacked against a tree and died. And then he rauded, and it's basically like fucking back to before he dies.
Oh no.
And the guy goes, hey, help us help us work here. And he goes, no. And then my character grabs him and does the same thing, smacks him against a tree, killing him. He rauds again. We go yet again, help us work. He goes, no. And then the shaman takes him and smacks against the tree, killing him instantly. He rauds once more. We go back to fucking, hey, help us work. And he goes, okay.
He broke.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, maybe I should work.
It's like you do this 16 times over and then literally hell breaks loose. It's like, you broke the last seal.
Fucking Satan crawls up from the dirt and goes, yeah, pretty good. Drags him down into the abyss. Fucking eats tea and cake.
Amazing.
It's tea and cake!
Yes. Oh, a question. Now that Jacqueline mentioned that Swedish role-playing game, have you heard about another Swedish role-playing game that is sadly discontinued called Mutant?
Oh yeah, I do. I've tried.
Have you played it?
I played it once with a group that I was a bit like, yeah. So I never really got into it.
Ah, okay.
But it's alright.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. I really enjoyed it when I played it. I played it a few times, but for the uninitiated, it's essentially Fallout in Sweden.
Yeah, I create a fucking
Less nukes and more.
Yeah, I create a fucking librarian dude called Bokia.
Called Bokia. Okay. It's a good role-playing game, but it cannot...
He was half fly and disgusting.
Fly and disgusting. Well, God, he also has a really posh voice, so it's like, you can't not listen to him, but you don't want to look at him.
It's like, yes, let me grab your book. Let me grab your femur.
Oh. So, but...
Then he plays fucking xylophone with it, like a scary skeleton.
Yeah. But although that's an amazing role-playing game, I highly recommend it. there's another role-playing game in the making, made by the greatest role-playing maker of all time, Karl himself.
Yeah.
So tell us about your role-playing game, POP.
POP. Yeah, POP. It's the thing is that it started out more as a fucking. Basically, the only times me and my friends have worked on this game was when we were either drunk or high or both. And it's made to be able. It's a game that we've designed this role-playing game so that you can play it while you're fucking drunk. And creating a character in it takes like 5 minutes. And mostly it's just a bunch of stupid Swedish inside jokes. POP stands for Pågar och Pirater, which, well, I don't know how you would describe or like translate that. Like lads and pirates, I guess.
I guess.
And it takes place in the supercontinent of Skåne.
Which is a corrupted chaos tongue version of the southern parts of Sweden.
Yeah, the southern province of Sweden called Skåne.
Yeah, it was essentially Skåne is essentially like a eugenics experiment with Danes and Swedes that failed, and now nobody wants them.
Yeah, and well, I don't know how do you describe this game?
How I would describe this game.
First of all, the system, we don't use a D20 system or whatever. We use a D6 system, so that when you play it, or like if you go like, oh, I want to play it, then you can just steal dice from another game.
Yeah, it's kind of smart as well, making it D6s instead of D20s, because those are far more available typically. So it's like, we can steal those from the neighbor, never give it back.
Yeah.
And now we could never play Yahtzee again.
So, like, basically, the rule system and everything is done. All we really need to do now is fucking work on lore and fluff, which is, like... yeah, I mean... The only reason I haven't worked on that is because I'm like, I don't know what to do.
I can maybe throw my shoe in there, too.
Or, like, I know what to do, but I'm like, I don't know where to begin, more or less.
Ah, okay. Well, if you need help in constructing terrible lore.
Yeah, but the end goal of this fucking role-playing game is that we want to be able to actually sell it as a, like, book that you can buy.
POP. By drunk people, for drunk people.
Yeah, I mean, one of the villain races are called Black Ironers, and it's just Norwegian black metal dudes, but bards. So they run around with loots that have axes strapped to them, and they try to be evil very hardly. So they're just overly over the top edgy.
They also have the special rule of hatred whenever they see a cleric or a shrine or church.
Yeah, they walk around burning churches in order to look cool.
To appease their dark gods.
We got to appease the dark gods,
they say.
and then we will eat milk and blood.
Oh God, it's. I've read through it. A friend of mine have read through it, and so far, it looks great. Yeah. A proper lore to that shit would, proper as it like just written down would be fucking amazing.
But yeah, so there are a few races. One of them is, well, standard humans. And we paint the humans as basically as murder hobos.
Yeah.
As standard murder hobos. Then we have dwarfs who, they're like more or less John Bauer dwarfs, if you know what that is. So they have humongous noses, humongous beards and hair, and they live under rocks. Like they don't live in caves. They live under rocks.
So they are literally like.
Yeah, they're covered in fucking algae and moss.
They are Red Sea pedestrians.
The largest cause of death for them is living in the forest during hunting season.
Oh no!
And then we have elves, not elves. elves. And what elves are is it's actually humans who have grown very old, and people have, thrown them off cliffs in order to kill them because they're too old. But then they've survived being thrown off a cliff, and so instead of people going like, "Oh no, old Uncle Joe survived," they all went, "No, that's not Uncle Joe, that's a new race. I've never seen that man before."
Oh.
Then you also have animal people, and the only reason I created that is because I know I have a few friends in real life who are furries.
Yeah, we tend to kink shame them.
And so I was like, fuck it, here you go. I'm not going to have like specifically like Wolfman and Catman. It's just animal person. You can make it whatever animal you want. There you go. And the lore behind them is just it was animals normal animals who lived in the forest, and then one day they were like, "What am I doing?" And then they walked into town and started acting like people.
What am I doing with my life? And just
Yeah.
decide to get a haircut and get a job.
Basically. And then you have the potato people, which is our joke race. Yeah, their quote is and that's a quote by Sluggard Fett Uncle, standard potatis. But basically, potato people are potatoes that grew off the ground and became people, and they're completely useless in everything except that they get double experience to start with and double the loot.
Yeah, okay. By their mere design and name, I thought they would be named like King Edward, like their leader.
No, that's well, the lore behind them is that they the lore behind the potato people is you could say that they have a king called King Edward. However, they live in a communistic commune underground. And the reason for this is because a potato person, the way that they reproduce is by dying, and when they die, they sprout like 3 new potato people from their body. So, because they reproduce by dying, it feels fucking amazing for them to die.
Oh no.
So, in their underground commune, they have started this massive factory where half of every potato person gets shucked onto a conveyor line where they get chopped up and then fried into potato chips, which the other potatoes will, sell to the rest of the world.
Oh no.
However, since every time when a potato person die, they sprout 3 more potatoes. It is basically, in the end, even though the potato people are fucking useless, they will win.
They're... Oh god.
In like an H.P. Lovecraft scenario.
I can just see it myself, where it's like they want to summon their own version of the Wall of Flesh, and it's just a massive tidal wave of mashed potatoes.
It's just Janssons. But
it's Johnson's resistance.
Then we have Urgs, which is our version of orcs, but they're not orcs, they're Urgs!
Yeah.
And basically, yeah, it's just fucking testosterone, humongous people who are stupid.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, also then you have the pirates, who are their own race, because they decided that they are their own race.
They live, they die, and they breed by the boat.
Yeah, and then you also have gnomes, which is basically like... They look and dress like tiny children from the 1900s in Sweden.
Oh no.
However, they have like old wrinkly faces, and a huge part of them are involved in the mafia.
I'm just seeing like post-industrialization children with like bits of like coal dust in their face, and they are really wrinkly.
Yeah, that's basically it. I think my favorite character so far has been it was created by another dude who's creating this game named Egil, and he created a pirate named Jumped on Momoa.
Jonathan Momoa.
Yes, who looked exactly like Jason Momoa, but his name was Jonathan Momoa. And the way the talents work in this game is that you don't have any, like, a list of talents like, oh, Knife of the Infinite, if you get this talent, you can blah blah blah. No, how talents work is you create and invent a talent, whatever you want. And then the DM will roll a d6, and depending if it lands on 6, then you basically get the talent you asked for. And however, it will be very strong, and you can use it like twice per day. But if it lands on 1, it will be like pretty shitty, but you can use it like fucking 10 times a day. So what his talent was whenever he's drunk or high, he can perceive things in a different way. And when he uses his talent, which was called Drugs Over Matter, he can change reality to what he thought it was.
I substitute your reality and change it up with my own.
So, for example, like, he was one time at a bar, or like a tavern, and he was really drunk, and he sees this dude, like this disgusting dude, and he like, I walk up to that woman over there. And he walks up to the dude, and then because he perceived it, and then he uses his talent, and because he perceived it as being like this hot fucking woman, the dude just turns into that.
Oh no. I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Basically. And yeah, it got fucking stupidly ridiculous. I had another dude who played a fox human.
Oh no.
Who was a jester.
Oh,
No, wait, he was a juggler.
A juggler. I'm just imagining something. I'm just imagining a fox, an actual fox.
Yeah, that's what basically. That's what it was. That's how we draw it. It was just like an actual, like, animal fox standing on 2 legs with a jester hat on.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing that too. It looks like something you'd find at the back of like an old playing card.
Yeah, not like a fucking anthropomorphic furry. Like,
no,
yeah, no.
Thank fuck.
It was like a tiny fucking. It was literally a fox on 2 legs. And he had 3 he was a juggler, and he had 3 shitty weapons. So the way he would attack was he would juggle like 3 different shitty fucking farm equipments at the same time, and then, you know, stab people with them as he catch them in his hands. And his special ability was just like, he pointed at a direction and said, "Hey, look over there!" The people would look over there and forget about him, and then he would run up and bite them in the dick.
Okay. How to cast God's eyes from you while you would jerk off.
Yeah, and then I had another dude who played a rat dude, because then he made or like a mouse or something, and and it was a biker, and his special ability was to summon different like rat bikers in his gang, which he called or biker mice from Mars.
What the it's like, the fuck? Like, what year is this? I thought it was fantasy.
Welcome. Oh yeah, it is fantasy, but there's no limit to what you can do with your talents.
Oh god, alright.
So it's like Magica fantasy.
It's Magica fantasy. Oh no. This is okay. This is amazing. We have to play this game sometime.
And there's only one actual class that I've invented, and that is Random Magician.
Oh yeah, the with his spells of disappointment.
Yeah, they're called the Besvikelser, disappointments, and you roll 4d6, and then something happens. It can either be really good or really fucking bad. the thing is that, like, even if you roll the highest thing ever, then you will explode in a fucking nuke, killing everybody around you for fucking, like, 40 miles.
You turn into a sun.
More or less. And if you roll the shittest, then you just... If you roll as shitty as possible, not only do you just die, you disappear and everybody around you forgets that you ever existed.
It's like rolling rolling 90 in Only War as a psyker. It devours you.
Yeah. However, I mean,
gone.
yeah, but at least in that, when you get devoured, people can be like, "Oh, he got devoured." In this, it's like, "Oh, you disappear, and all the memories of you disappear. You never existed."
What about names in records? Did that remain, but it's like they can't recall?
Sure, why not? It'd be funnier.
It's like, who the fuck was this?
Who was this? Probably a typo. I don't know.
Well, amazing. So far, your game sounds fucking amazing. I want to play it.
Sure. I don't know why my voice right now is so like I got a lot of fucking saliva in my mouth, fucking drooling like a fucking Mongo.
Oh, that's good for later.
Yes, I will fucking dribble saliva on your ballsack, let it pool up.
Amazing.
Disgusting.
Yes.
Brown fluids.
Oh yeah, from the pole man.
The pole man?
No, for the fucking from the brown teeth from the Dwarf Fortress adventure guy, whose name.
Oh yeah, George Washington.
So yeah,
The pole man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that the new creepypasta? The pole
He has a really long erection. It pierces the heavens.
Pierces my asshole. He's just Vlad.
He has such a massive erection. It points God in the face, and he's like, "Ah, fuck," and flings it away.
Yeah, it's just fucking Vlad Dracul or whatever his fucking name was. He just goes around fucking stabbing people. I stab you with my hit pole.
From Magica, or
no?
Are you talking about
real
Vlad
life.
the Impaler?
Yeah, Vlad the Impaler.
Oh God!
That's the pole man. And then he screams, "Pole position!"
Oh. Amazing. Yes. Let's fucking do it.
Alright, what if you're sitting at home, suddenly there's a knock on your door, you go to your door, and instead, before you can manage to open it, a huge fucking pointed log just pierces the door, splitting it apart, and there before you stands Vlad the Impaler, and he screams, "Are you ready for pole position?"
I think I would be
what do you do?
I think I'd die happy. I would die very happy.
He grabs you, kisses you and giggles and runs away.
Are you ready for pole position?
And then he runs.
He's just really awkward about it as well, like stumbles on his own dick. He's like,
sorry. And then fucking rolls out.
oh no.
Like a robot transformer.
And his fucking nemesis is Frederick the Flaccid.
He fucking transforms into a wooden cart and rolls down a hill.
He transforms into a wooden cart.
Filled with corpses.
That actually reminds me of a small Drakar the Boner thing that happened. It was kind of funny. It was a friend of mine's girlfriend wanted to play that game with us for the first time. And you know, we think nothing major of it, but it's like, yeah, sure, join in.
Yeah.
We didn't think she would do anything major. She turned out to be the biggest cunt in like the entire game, and it was the most entertaining shit. Because like, first camp we went to, it was like a trading post or something, and she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go buy a cart because we're gonna need something to pull all our shit in." So she walks to like a tent that sells like carts and shit, and looks at it and see what she can find. And then there's a small cart that has a kitten head on it. A small like wooden head of a kitten, and it's like it's a child's cart, and she's like, I want that.
Does it grab it and fucking flings it into the stratosphere?
Almost. What happens is that like she's like, I want this cart, and the owner's like, sorry, that cart is not for sale, madam. It's one that I've made for my daughter for her birthday.
Well, I don't fucking care. I want it. How much?
It's not for sale. I have spent a lot of time working on that cat's head and that beautiful flowery pattern on it.
Okay, fuck you.
Cuts off the cat head.
Okay.
And like takes it up, throws it at him.
Yeah, I'll take the cart.
And just like
Cart.
it was so.
I throw shit at him.
It was Karakus's wife.
Caracas.
And then when she is like walking out, like the guy behind her is like really intimidated by her, but also starts crying. So he's like, "You fucking whore!" She walks out. So she literally goes in to buy a card, didn't buy a card, ended up stealing a card, chopping off the fucking details on it, and it was intended for a little girl's birthday, throws it in her father's fucking face, and leaves.
Have you ever made shepherd's pie? No, wait, no, you haven't.
No, I made an egg and bacon pie with bell pepper and cheese last night, or 2 nights ago.
If you ever saw Gordon Ramsay, would you spit in his mouth?
If he would scream at me, I would spit in his mouth and tell me how it tastes.
He goes, oh, fuck.
How's that?
Oh, God, fucking delicious. Oh, fuck.
I think he's the kind of homosexual that wouldn't use rubber. He wants it raw.
What do you think Gordon Ramsay's secret kink is?
Gordon Ram.
Gordon Rammy, faggot.
Gordon ramming.
Yeah, he looks at you and says, Gordon Rams me, faggot.
Gordon rams me!
Gordon Rams look. And then he fucking becomes a power button.
He becomes a power button and he insults your
He
food
fucking
while
he straps dumbbells to his weight and bounces on your dick.
And it's like, that's it. I want you to make a chocolate fucking milkshake, and I want you to fucking prove to me that you can do anything, you worthless ass. And then you like flip him over.
Jesus, Gordon Ramsay would be a perfect fucking like dominatrix, dude. You kidding me?
He would be.
Oh, fuck me, you donkey!
Fuck! Oh god, no. That's an actual donkey.
Fuck the donkey! Tijuana!
Maybe we can have like a parody Chef Ramsay in a POP called like Chef Rammy or something.
Yeah, Chef Rammy fucking screams and leaps down a volcano. Oh, gotta fry it to a good... and then we have fucking James Olive.
James Olive.
James Oliver! Med sina jävla oliver!
Oh, that's gonna be amazing.
Onanera på ramslök fittan. Yeah.
Alright. I think we've had enough shenanigans for one day.
Have you heard? I have a massive bean. It sounds like this.
Oh. Well, finish me with it.
Hang on, let me see if I can do a good beat here. Shit.
Yeah. Word fucking drop it, Karl. Dope fucking mixtape.
No wait, we gotta do this. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on.
Buddy, you're a young man, home out, running to the street, gonna be a big man someday. Fall on your feet, you been this work,
Rock you! Rock you! And that's the end. And that's the end.
Thank you all for watching. Remember to fucking murder me on the like button.
Hey
subscribe.
guys, what's up guys? Remember to like and subscribe this video and hit that notification bell. Otherwise you won't see this stupid shit. Give me his money. Oh my god, he's a fucking whore!